You know a guy like this. Maybe you are a guy like this. Late 30s, still talking about the business he's about to start. Still living like next year is when it really begins. He's not stupid. Half the time, he's the sharpest person in the room. That's actually part of the problem. Jung had a name for it. Puer Aeternus. The eternal boy. Not a diagnosis, more a description of a particular way of refusing to land anywhere. And the tell isn't laziness. Laziness is easy to spot and easy to fix. This is quieter than that. This is a man who is technically an adult and still, somewhere underneath, waiting for his real life to start. Here's what that actually looks like day to day. The job is temporary, even after 6 years. The apartment is temporary, even though he's been there since college. The relationship is temporary, because she's not really the one, even 3 years in. Nothing gets his full weight. Because if nothing gets his full weight, nothing can really fail. You can't lose a bet you never placed. And it usually starts somewhere reasonable. Most of these guys were the smart kid. Good grades without trying. The one teacher singled out. Somebody told him early that he was going to do something big, and he believed it. And it felt true for a long time because at 12, potential and achievement look identical. Nobody can tell the difference yet. Then you turn 25, then 30, and potential is still just potential. And now it's starting to look like something else, like an excuse. Procrastination, in this specific case, isn't about being disorganized, it's a defense. If you never actually start the book, you get to keep believing you'd have written a great one. If you never send the application, you never have to find out what not good enough actually feels like. The delay is doing a job. It's protecting an idea of yourself that a real attempt might damage. Then there's the flinch. Things are fine right up until someone brings up next year, or moving in, or actually building something together. And suddenly the flaws that were tolerable last month feel unbearable. Easier to find a reason to leave than to sit with what staying would actually require. And then, underneath both of those, the real one. Everything's someone else's fault. That's the trap that actually keeps a man small, more than the gaming or the non-committal dating ever could, because it's the one that removes him from the equation entirely. The rent's high. The job market's brutal. Older generations had it easier. All frequently true. Also, somehow, always the whole explanation, every single time, which is exactly what should give it away. If the only reason nothing's moved is circumstance, you never have to check whether you've actually tried. None of this makes someone a bad person. It makes them stuck, which is a different thing and a more fixable one. But fixing it doesn't happen through guilt. Guilt is just another room to sit in. What actually moves the needle is smaller and less dramatic than people expect. Start with the boring stuff, on purpose. Clean the apartment because it's yours, not because company's coming. Pay the electric bill on the day it's due instead of the day it's overdue. Take a job that isn't glamorous and do it properly anyway, not as punishment, but as proof. The part of you still waiting for permission needs to see, firsthand, that ordinary effort only produces ordinary results. And that ordinary results were never the tragedy they got built up to be. After that, risk something real. Not everything. One thing. The specific thing you've been avoiding because you might actually be bad at it. Send the resume. Sign up for the course where you'll obviously be the worst person in the room for a month. Turns out rejection doesn't end anyone's life. It stings for a while, and then it's Tuesday. None of that holds without something outside your own skull keeping you honest. Willpower alone doesn't survive contact with a mind that's had years of practice negotiating itself out of discomfort. And if you've read this far, yours has had plenty of practice. A mentor, a job that expects results and says so, a group of people who'd actually notice if you flaked. Any of these will do more work than another round of self-discipline you try to manufacture alone in a room, talking yourself into it for the 100th time. There's a line, often credited to Jung, that the heaviest thing a child carries is the unlived life of a parent. Whether or not that's word for word what he wrote, the idea holds. Whatever doesn't get lived gets passed down somehow. Into a marriage, into how you show up for your own kids one day, into every relationship that needed a grown man and got someone still waiting for his real life to start. The boy isn't a stage you grow out of on schedule. He's a version of you that has to be put down on purpose, usually more than once. Usually before you feel ready. Nobody gets handed the man. You have to build him, out of every ordinary decision the boy would have talked you out of.